Before going into this video, we heartily welcome you all into e-Gurukulam for IAS. Let's start. Before further stepping into learning about minor landforms, you need to know two concepts called as weathering and erosion. Majorly all landforms ahead are byproducts of either or both the processes. Also you need two differences between them as well. Firstly, weathering. Weathering describes the breaking down or dissolving of rocks and minerals on the surface of the earth. Water, ice, acids, salts, plants, animals, and changes in temperature are all agents of weathering. No rock on earth is hard enough to resist the forces of weathering and erosion. The length of exposure often contributes to how vulnerable a rock is to weathering. As it smooths rough, sharp rock surfaces, weathering is often the first step in the production of soils. Weathering is often divided into the processes of mechanical weathering, biological weathering and chemical weathering. Mechanical weathering, also called physical weathering and disaggregation, causes rocks to crumble. Water, in either liquid or solid form, is often a key agent of mechanical weathering. For instance, liquid water can seep into cracks and crevices in rock. If temperatures drop low enough, the water will freeze. When water freezes, it expands. The ice then works as a wedge. It slowly widens the cracks and splits the rock. This specific process is called frost weathering or cryofracturing. Temperature changes can also contribute to mechanical weathering in a process called thermal stress. Chemical weathering. Chemical weathering changes the molecular structure of rocks and soil. For instance, carbon dioxide from the air or soil sometimes combines with water in a process called carbonation. This produces a weak acid, called carbonic acid, that can dissolve rock. Carbonic acid is especially effective at dissolving limestone. Biological weathering, in which living or once-living organisms contribute to weathering, can be a part of both processes. Now erosion. Erosion is the geological process in which earthen materials are worn away and transported by natural forces such as wind or water. A similar process, weathering, breaks down or dissolves rock, but does not involve movement. Erosion is the opposite of deposition, the geological process in which earthen materials are deposited or built up on a landform. Most erosion is performed by liquid water, wind, or ice, usually in the form of a glacier. If the wind is dusty, or water or glacial ice is muddy, erosion is taking place. The brown color indicates that bits of rock and soil are suspended in the fluid, air or water, and being transported from one place to another. This transported material is called sediment. Physical erosion describes the process of rocks changing their physical properties without changing their basic chemical composition. Physical erosion often causes rocks to get smaller or smoother. Landslides and other forms of mass wasting are associated with physical weathering. These processes cause rocks to dislodge from hillsides and crumble as they tumble down a slope. Some of the natural factors impacting erosion in a landscape include climate, topography, vegetation, and tectonic activity. Climate is perhaps the most influential force impacting the effect of erosion on a landscape. Climate includes precipitation and wind. Climate also includes seasonal variability, which influences the likelihood of weathered sediments being transported during a weather event such as a snowmelt, breeze, or hurricane. Topography, the shape of surface features of an area, can contribute to how erosion impacts that area. The earthen floodplains of river valleys are much more prone to erosion than rocky flood channels, which may take centuries to erode. Soft rock like chalk will erode more quickly than hard rocks like granite. This is all about erosion. Hope you understand the key difference between both of them. Meet you in next class deeply diving into minor landforms. Thank you. Subscribe to IAS for all channel and join e-Gurukulam.